I'm not seeing the stream screen.
Mine's a little white zombie. Mark, will you just tell me when I'm live? I forgot how to play Twitch. What are we playing?
You're live.
All right, excellent. What's up, everybody? Wednesday, my favorite Wednesday of the week. Sorry we missed you last week. My life in particular was a horribly depressing, dark hole without all of you and my friends here, who I tolerate for the exact length of our stream. But I missed you, and I hope you missed us back. Welcome to Void Jumpers. I'm Jesse Keeter, and I fucking rock. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. I got to tell you guys about a book. Let's do book talk with Jesse Keeter.
Yeah, book talk with Jesse.
Just go get this book. It's by Tamsin Weir. This is the sequel. Go get Gideon the Ninth and read that shit because it will blow you up, okay? Just go get it. Nobody's paying me to say this. I was just so taken by it and her voice and imagination that you have to go read it. And then tag me on Twitter. We can talk about it. All right. While I'm also plugging other people's shit. Monster of the Week by Michael Sands. This is the game we're going to be playing. And it's really great. And I know that some of you have gone and picked it up and checked it out so far. If you've made any games with it and you got some stuff that's working for you, also tag me on Twitter and talk to me about it or in the Discord because I'm always looking for, hot strats. All right, Monster of the Week, whatever. Void Jumpers, let's bring in the crew.
I don't know if I'm just in a good mood or if you're just particularly funny tonight because I'm having a great time.
All right, me too.
You get more and more ornery every week. A couple seasons from now, you'll be like,
What's up,
kid? Let's figure it out.
I'm having a blind.
Introduced us as like goobers or something like that. He's like, "Welcome to Void Jumpers. I'm the king of telling stories. Well, bring in the goobers."
Yeah, I feel like in a couple weeks, Jesse's going to be like, okay, everybody, raise your right hand. Turn it towards your face. Hit yourself with it repeatedly because you're a bunch of dumb jerks.
Introduce everybody. Okay, going left to right, top to bottom, we've got a button, a scrap of corduroy, a stick that I found on the street, and what I think was at one point a pine cone that was eaten and then pooped out by some little creature. I don't really know what it is, but anyway, that's your crew, and I'm Jesse.
Just so we're clear, Connor Marks just used an impression of me to tell all of you what he really thinks of you.
So much love. I can't take it. I might explode.
All right. No.
Except we all know who that pine cone is. So
Top to left to right, top to bottom. I would be that pooped out pine cone.
But okay. We got a season finale to do tonight. Trent, let's kick it over to you for Democracy Corner, and then we're going to get cracking.
cool. Hey everybody, Democracy Corner here this week. I'm sure if you were tuned in, you may have already have a good idea what I'm going to talk about. What I'm talking about today is the killing of Daunte Wright, and how our over-militarized police continue to inflict violence and harm on communities in this country, particularly our Black community. And so I'm calling for all of us to do everything that we can to end this cycle, to make sure that it doesn't happen to another human being. And that takes getting involved in your local communities, getting involved with your local politicians, particularly the ones who are in charge of policing. And I think, you know, I don't know that I speak for everyone, but I can certainly speak for myself loud and clear that I think this is not an issue of reform, that there are deep fundamental fissures in the way that we approach law enforcement in this country, and that we need radical rethinking about how to keep us all safe, how we can keep each other safe. So get involved in your local communities. I recommend joining your local chapter of BLM. There are also a lot of organizations like Showing Up for Racial Justice, SURJ, SURJ, which has a lot of chapters around the country as well. So please get involved. We can't let this keep happening. Love you.
Thank you, Trim. Thank you. Mark, you want to give us a little bumper because we don't got to wrap up? Okay. Last episode.
I'm still getting teary-eyed whenever I think about what happened last episode.
Oh fuck!
And just thinking about it today, I was just like,
Yeah, I know. I want to be my devious little DM, but it just doesn't even feel right. We lost one of our main player characters last episode. We had to say goodbye to Puck. It was a big moment. I was really proud to be a part of the stream because it was just kind of like an interesting moment of improvisation and commitment to this story, which every week for me, and if I'm to gauge anything from your actions and the way that you play it, is this continuing investment of time, energy, and love. And so it was incredible to watch you guys kind of handle that, as it just surprised everybody, including Casey, who just had the guts to go with an impulse and then stick with it. So thank you, everybody. You also kind of defeated the boss, I guess. You did. My notes say you also defeated the big boss, although CNAC 88 and the OSI device are all technically residing in Bryn's staff now.
Oh, joy.
yeah.
Gonna have fun with that.
So there's that. And Kale has requested a meeting with you before your board debriefing to discuss the fate of the OSI device. You're in Sam's office. Everybody just had a horrible night and then went to sleep. And we're going to dive into the morning after. Before anybody really is up or has time to get ready to leave, your debriefing is today. You tag.
There was also something that I wanted to do.
Build a fake Odic,
okay.
right?
I want to make
You'll
sure
get
that I'm still. Okay.
I don't want to skip any prep that you guys want to do, so if I start moving too fast, just throw up a little flag and we'll make sure we do it. But I did remember that one, Rex. Tag, when you wake up, Half-Dad is floating in the air above you.
I can't. Look, I can't be antagonized right now. Come down to tell me that you're gonna end the world or I'm gonna end the world. Just save it, because it feels like it already happened.
While I do not understand the specifics of what happened, I can sense.
No, you've never tried to understand me, Dad, and that's the problem. Maybe if you listen to some of the music that I like, you get a hint.
I've listened to Nine Inch Nails. I've listened to Eve 6. I've put on a record by Third Eye Blind. Well, I have a lot of time on my hands, so I've actually gone through the entire canon of each of these groups.
Well, then you probably super saturated yourself, and you don't really understand what it's like for them to evolve as an artist over time.
There's no pleasing you, is there, young man?
Yeah, you can please me by acknowledging that Inside Out is the greatest song to have ever been written. Maybe you could swallow your pride.
Maybe you could choke on the rind.
But the lack thereof would leave me empty inside.
Swallow my doubt.
Look, I can tell that something... Just sing it! Enjoy it. Sing it.
Wanna put my tender heart in a beautiful oblivion. Can we get everybody in for the rendezvous while I'm through with you?
Rendezvous. Yes. The music was good, though it is a bit dated. Listen, Tag, I can see that something has happened since my last appearance here, something horrible, and I don't mean to cause you any problem. I'm merely here to check in. It seems as though your mission is nearly complete.
Yeah.
When you move to destroy the company's siphon, the pressure that is built on your side of the rift will be unstable. But I've come here to tell you that I may be able to help you with that.
You want us to destroy it? I thought you wanted to take it over and reverse the flow.
I don't think so. I believe any opening that we leave the company when they've entrenched themselves like this will ultimately not be worth the trouble.
Okay. Yeah, so when we destroy it, what?
Well, the fact that they were able to latch onto our rift and turn it into a conduit of energy that they could use is quite surprising, and we've been sending out some feelers as to how secure it is, and while the connection is strong, it is essentially very brittle. There's very little flexibility to it, so if there is even a slight change in their hold, I believe our people will be able to capitalize on that and close the rift. That will present a very small window of time for us to reabsorb the energy that they've stolen, and then collapse the rift, taking away the threat from either of our sides when it does close.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
We're usually taunting each other or literally fighting. So I just want to take this opportunity while we are temporarily in a bit of a truce. Are you guys like immortal?
I don't know. I think so, but there is never been a power great enough to test that theory. Do you understand?
Yeah, you're saying that it's possible you could be killed, but of natural causes, no.
No.
So you and the Malice, as far as you know,
We've been here since the very beginning.
Okay.
It's interesting that you bring that up, Tag. As we've discussed in the past, our connection is not one way. You are one with the Malice and one with me. And the longer you continue to explore what it means to exist in your world and fall in love with the things you've fallen in love with, the more of that has been transmitted to us. Not enough to really make me care, but there is a taste of it. And so I cannot help but start to feel for you. Less so for the things I care about, but I'm aware of them.
Are you saying in an incredibly obtuse, circuitous way that you do care what happens to me and my friends?
Yes, my hesitation is only in regards to your friends. I suppose I've grown fond of them, but only slightly. I do care what happens to you, Tag. I do hope you understand that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Now, this key that I believe you are in possession of now.
Sorta.
Well, I have no interest in that key. That is your key.
You want us to like make you a copy, or?
No, thank you. I don't want any part of that, nor the device that it is corrupted. If I could offer you any advice, it would be to destroy that device as quickly as possible. That key is not intended to be abused as such and will do what is necessary to get free. You understand? Look, there is a door on Silva Celesso which is not meant to be opened. I believe you're familiar with this door.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. It's just, if you had spent your childhood there, there's a lot of rules. So I know what you're talking about, but it's not the most specific way to refer to a door. It doesn't matter. Never mind.
Fair enough. It is in this door that you will find the lock which fits your key. Behind that door, you will find the answers you do not know you are seeking yet. Behind that door lies two paths. destiny or freedom. You speak about this truce that we have entered. It is temporary. But until you have chosen your path inside that door, we will be unable to conclude our business. It is in my interest, as I think yours, that this truce extends at least until you've chosen your path.
And one of those paths means we fight forever against each other, and one means we fight forever on the same side, I take it.
I thought for a long time that I knew what lay behind that door. Because it was described to me by the keeper of that door that the paths would mean destiny and freedom, I assumed, like you do, that that is what it meant. But as I continue to watch the way that you handle the threats that come to you and your friends, I'm not so sure any longer that the paths will be so easily defined.
Okay. So there's a keeper of the doors, and that's not you.
No.
Okay.
You've spent a great deal of time on Silva Celesso. I would not be surprised if you've met many of the key players of what our endgame will be, Tag, though their true intentions may not have been so clear.
You can usually tell when people are hiding something, even if I don't know what it is they're hiding.
Sure.
Do you have more business? Because I actually have another question.
No. The last thing I would tell you is that we only need you to shift the siphon's hold on the rift. And so if you are able to use a remote or timed device, you may be able to do such a thing without being present when it happens. That way, if something goes wrong, you will be safe. Or if you would like to remain in the good graces of the company, you may be able to do so, assuming you can cover your tracks.
I think we'll be okay, but I appreciate your concern.
I just hate the fucking company. You understand?
I do. I share your feelings. They seem... It seems like such a human attachment to hate this corporate enterprise. I realize you guys have beef, but I don't know. It seems like evil beings that have been around since the beginning. I don't know. I guess it seems below you.
An indulgence in emotion is merely recognizing and enjoying one's self.
Yeah, it's not the indulgence in the emotion. It's the
pettiness.
It's the ragdoll whiplash back and forth by the whims of some, like I said, corporate enterprise, some human-run capitalistic pursuit. You know, what about legacy?
Legacy?
Yeah.
What do
Surely
you mean?
this is just a blip on the radar. I know the company seems very powerful. Can't really.
A blip on the radar. Tag, you understand how many cards have needed to be carefully stacked to ensure that this lifetime is the one that comes to pass, only to have the company throw a fucking wrench in the gear when we've come so close? Do you know what happens when this window closes? Do you know how long eternity is?
Dad, I don't know the answer to any of these questions because I don't know any of this stuff because you didn't raise me to understand any of this stuff. I was somehow just plopped in a fucking monastery with no connection to you. I don't know if there's another parental figure, if there's a parental collective there. I don't know any of these things because you haven't thought to include me in them. So no, sounds like you've been making this house of cards for many years and it's super important to you and super precious and way more important than your... or this version of him.
I can see how you would think that, and I've done very little to dissuade you.
I'm not even mad, I'm not even mad. Honestly, like I'm not... I'm not disappointed. You just don't get to have it both ways. You don't get to cast me out, not give a shit, and then want me to jump in enthusiastically and say, oh yeah, it's such a big deal. I'm so invested.
That's fair. I did not expect for things to go this way. I thought they would be much simpler. You said you had a question for me?
Me too. Yeah. It's weird. It's I don't know who else to ask, but clearly, as the last 5 minutes demonstrated, we're not bosom buddies. So the question is, if you've been around since the beginning, how did you know when you grew up? How did you know when you were an adult? When you weren't a kid anymore? What?
I will do my best to answer this, though. You must understand that birth, growing up, life, these are defined differently for a being of my type. But I can say that for a long time, I was waiting for something similar to the moment that you speak of for a long time. And then, seemingly as though I'd missed it and weeks or months or years or eons had passed, I realized that that moment had come and gone at a time that I could not remember, and that I had just grown up and been grown up for a while.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thanks. Thank you.
And he disappears. Okay. You guys are all in Sam's office. I know for sure that Rex wants to build a fake OSI device. Is there any other business that you'd like to take care of? You're on mute.
Breakfast.
I think I'd like to bring the group in on that endeavor.
Sure. Jenny goes and grabs a couple Meg McMuffins from McDonald's down the street.
I'm taking. Me and Jenny are going to the bakery. We're getting beignets and stuff for people.
Yeah, okay. That's better than Meg McMuffins.
Yeah, it's cold out. Give us time to get a cup of coffee. Fresh coffee. Nothing from the pot today. Fresh cups.
All right, Sam and Jenny walk back in holding a bunch of beignets and stuff and some fresh coffee, just as Rex is starting to gather everybody for this endeavor. Rex, would you please take the lead?
Sure. Listen, magic users. You do the sparkly things with your hands. It's very impressive. I like it. You know, sometimes not as efficient as punching, but very, very useful. Very glad to have you. How are you guys at illusions?
I mean, I can disguise myself pretty easy. Do you mean disguising an object?
I mean, I don't see any other way out of this thing than to give Kale the OSI device, and we can't give Kale the OSI device.
So you need someone to be Kale, a fake Kale?
I hadn't considered that. I was thinking more along the lines of, and she picks up like a stapler. Can we make this look like the OSI device?
Rex, you don't trust Kale when she says that all she wants is to destroy it?
Honestly, I don't know who to trust anymore. I know that I only trust you guys. And
Well, that seems like a good reason to make a fake OSI device, so you could figure that out. If we made a fake one, then you could give it to Kale, and if she destroys it, you know you can trust her moving forward. And if she doesn't, we know that she's a liar.
exactly.
Well, she's
Wait a
lying.
minute.
Whether she's lying about this or not, I guess we could find out.
Oh.
It seems like a lot of people are having a change of heart these days, so she's had a rough week as well. It's not easy to lose a kid.
Yeah.
Even if you're
Soulless
driven.
mom.
Yeah, that's another way to phrase it. Yeah.
Driven. Wow, he left his mark on you, didn't he? Yeah. Could be. Well, Rex, I can't make a stapler look like an OSI device, but depending on who it is we're trying to convince, how many and for how long, I can make them think they're looking at the OSI device. Is that distinction clear? It's less about modifying the properties of this thing, of casting an illusion. It's more about playing in here with our audience.
Yeah, I think that would work. I think Sam's right. I don't know if we can trust her, and if we give her a fake one and she destroys it, then okay, maybe we can trust her.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I'm not counting on it.
Well, I don't think I can do it all on my own, but I do think together we can make something work for at least a little bit. I won't be able to hold it for forever, but if we can.
Would it be useful for us to try to construct some sort of physical with some sort of illusory energy to make it appear like it's enchanted or somehow or otherworldly, so that there's a tactile thing that Kale could interact with, making it maybe a little easier for you guys to preserve the illusory magic?
Yeah, the more
You guys have seen it, and you've got enough bomb electronics around this joint that you could probably scrap something together.
Whoa.
Sorry. And fucking fax machines.
Vintage electronic wares from assorted sources. Okay, there's no need to belittle the contributions to this excellent idea that Rex had through the fourth wall and slam you into your couch.
Fair. You've got enough vintage electronic devices, and you guys have had enough experience with the kind of magic CNAC was throwing around that Bryn could probably anchor some kind of energy to the device. It'll just take 2 rolls. The first one's going to be plus lore. And I'm going to just scroll down to old Dingle Dongle Professor's character sheet, because he's got something that'll work for this. You remember old Dingle Dongle Professor, don't you?
Dingle Dongle Professor.
Yeah, Professor Dingle Dongle.
glad that he still commands such respect in absence.
We're just going to use something called magic science, but we're going to change it from plus magic to plus lore. Yeah, what did you roll there, Rexy?
Well, I hadn't rolled yet. Ooh. So lore is what sharp used to be?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, baby. That is a 8.
You need to pick one of these requirements that I'm about to list to you, and I will pick a second one.
Okay.
It needs a rare and/or magic material. It won't be very reliable. It requires huge amounts of power to fuel. It will take I'm not going to do that one. It won't work exactly as you intended, or you need help beyond the members of your team to finish it.
I guess rare material, maybe?
Okay.
I don't know. Does anyone else have a compelling thought on what because we definitely want it to work the way that we want it to. So that feels too risky.
You know me, I generally like to make the more
choices.
Not necessarily the smartest choice.
I've got a rare material. It's made out of magnesium and chromium. It's my wedding band.
That will count. The requirement that I'm going to choose is that it's going to take huge amounts of power. So Bryn's actually going to need to be locked into this thing, and while it is active, she will be unable to cast other spells. It's like a concentration spell. So because I'm making that a stipulation, she will not need to roll magic. But while she is locked in, it is active, and she is not able to cast other spells. It's a chaotic energy she's creating, and so it's going to be funky to maintain. If you're cool with that, Bryn. Okay. You have a fake OSI device.
It's a really good idea, Rex.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, it's a good idea. I'm just saying it's a good idea.
Well, we'll still be armed, so there's that.
Anything else that you would like to do as you're munching on your beignets and sipping your fresh coffee, putting the final touches on the OSI device before you go to company headquarters? Kale will expect to see you before your debrief.
Does that free me up so Tag is no longer doing mind stuff with this OSI device? We've just built a thing instead?
I was assuming that you would be doing something when it happens. The thing is, Kale has said she's used the OSI device, so she is familiar with it. It's not something that you would just bring in something powerful and say, like, this is it! She will know it exactly, so I assume you're going to have to do little, you know. But if you need a thing to stand in place, you've got it. Okay. You've got the item to hand over.
I have a quick question for Jenny before we go.
Yeah, what is it, Sam?
Are you going to run it, or are you going to sell it?
What do you mean?
This place.
What do you mean?
Well, when I died, you enacted the contingency. Part of the contingency isn't just sink my enemies, but take care of my assets. This is my asset. And, well, I don't know, a lot of other people leave stuff too. So, well, when you put that disc in, it became yours. So I'm just curious if you think you'll run it, become a gumshoe, or if you fancy school or something.
Fancy school? Yeah, I just figured I'd go to fancy school and get my doctorate in gilded goblets, Sam.
Well, I mean, you joke, but, you know, just think about it. You'd have enough money, you could go, you know, become a doctor or an RN, kind of like whatever you wanted to be.
Look, Sam, I hadn't planned for this, so I guess I don't have an answer for you, but I ain't gonna sell it. I should be the one who runs it, but while I make up my mind, maybe I keep it running.
Yeah. The stenciler's going to be by this afternoon, scrape my name off, put your name on. So either way, you can, you know, just try it out. See,
You're an asshole, Sam. You know that. You're an asshole.
Hey, it's part of the contingency.
She gives you a hug. I think she's all that happy about what is maybe coming next, but she is very happy that you're here. So she does give you a nice big hug, and she says, okay, go do your stupid espionage thing.
I'm gonna soothe her before we go.
Okay. How so?
I can just have all negative emotions dissipate and have her just kind of get into this like super positive frame.
Okay. Do you want that to have happened over the course of this conversation, or is there something new you would like to tell her?
No. Just
Sure. All right. You see her then. She's like, well, you know, there's a few open files. I guess I could start paging through them and see what I got to do next. I mean, I'm not just going to leave things unended. You know what I mean? And she heads back over the desk and points to a huge stack of files, and she's like, I mean, there's work to do. So she sits down and starts paging through the files.
Yeah. Remember, now you're looking through for clues.
Okay. Okay. And she gets to it. Okay. Any other scenes you guys want before you go to the company headquarters?
No, I'm just sad again now.
Get used to it, Rex. Okay. You head out. And you go across town to where the company campus is, the original headquarters. Rex, you've been here plenty of times. A towering skyscraper reaches up past the clouds. Rex leads you through a corporate chic courtyard and into the lobby, where a robotic attendant approaches and says, Executive Rex.
Yes.
Senior Executive Kale is expecting you in her office.
Of course.
Okay. Bank of elevators. There's like several tiers of elevators you can see. They're all on the same level, but there's like the ones everybody's using. And then there's the ones that fewer people are using, and fewer people, and then no one is using. And you are taken to the one that the fewest number of people is using and sent up to Kale's office. She's in a different office than the last time you met her. It's quite a probably done some maneuvering and done some good to get here. No one is barred from this meeting. She welcomes all of you into the office. You'll have a moment to prepare in the lobby before you're brought in. Is there anything you want to do?
Yeah, I have one thing I need to discuss with Tag. A warm place, downward spiral. I mean, that's also a banger.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I agree.
Yeah, it just seemed like you jumped right into the Eve 6, and I just wanted to,
Oh.
Sorry, I was half asleep. I just was running with me. Anyway, you have good taste in
It's
music.
fine, yeah. He and I got a little heated, so we were speaking perhaps a little louder than we should have.
Yeah, it's a small office, It's,
Do you know you're dead?
yeah, briefly, real briefly.
What was he like?
Tall, regular,
Okay.
working guy. I only knew him till I was about 6.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened?
Oh, well, he worked in the void mines, as it were, and you get some high mortality rate in the mines, something like 10%, 8 or 10%. But it was good pay while he was doing it, and I don't have like a sob story about it. It's just bad luck.
That's very young, Sam. It's really, you clearly made it out okay, but
Yeah, but I got six good years. I can still remember, like I swear I can remember the first time he bounced me on his knee. It must have been like 2, so it probably wasn't the first time, but I can see it, and it was one of those things where I don't know. I always just sort of racked it up as lucky because a lot of those stories are like, oh, he worked all the time and he never had time for me, and then he kicked the bucket and then I'm stuck. But it was like, no, he always made time with what little time he had, and I think it kind of drove my mom batty because I ended up staying up so late because he'd get back late and I just wouldn't go to sleep. I'd just lay there, and then he'd come home and I'd be like, and we'd just hang out and yeah. I almost feel like sometimes I'm doing an impression of him. I'll be like, oh, I'll like have this, distorted memory of what my old man was like, and then just do it that way.
Well, it's a part of you. I think that so often we think about the lessons we pass on as happening during lesson time. Every time you hung out, you were learning from him how to be like him or how to be your own person. I'm sure there were things that he wanted you to be that he wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, I think I may give more credit. Maybe people do give more credit to parents. My mom always used to tell me, she's like, "Oh, I never had more proof of a soul than having children, because no matter what I try to teach you or make you do, you just that's what you were doing."
Yeah.
I always wanted to try out the kids thing and find out for myself, but
Will.
Yeah, we'll see.
If you do have some kids and we're not, still running PlanetSide, I hope you let me know. I'd love to meet him.
Oh, sure. Who knows? You might beat me to it.
Who knows?
As this conversation wraps up, you all turn towards Kayla's office door, and you can see that she's actually been standing in the doorway listening to all of this talk of parents. And her eyes, she is not crying, but you can tell that she's made some effort not to be. And she says, "Thank you for joining me. I do have an official request for your team, if you wouldn't mind joining me in the office here, Executive Rex and your team." And she steps aside and motions for you to join her. You're muted. Wait. Rock.
Okay. I did that because I keep drinking my delicious smoothie and I'm kind of at the end, so it's the.
Let her rip. Give us one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you were right next to Rex, you could hear her just going like Flint, 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 just like trying to concentrate her mind on just like this one thing as she walks into the office.
Sure. Kale invites all of you in and then closes the door. She has no secretaries or help here. There was a robotic attendant in the lobby, but no one is here except her and you. She's windows that wrap the entirety of her office. There are blinds, but they are all up. And you have a commanding view of the skyline upon skyline upon skyline upon skyline of Void Planet, as well as the entire company campus. You can actually see several rockets like taking off nearby from several of the taller buildings on the campus. There seem to be hangar bays near their roofs. There's shuttlecraft taking off as well. There's just a lot of activity that's happening, but it is a gorgeous view. You are very high up.
Without looking at her, I hands behind my back and just like calmly stroll towards the windows just to survey the view and also to give a sense of like, I'm not intimidated by you. This is totally fine. I'm very confident taking over your space.
As Rex passes, I'm sorry, Jesse, were you going to roll with that?
No. Please.
As Rex passes, I think the hairs on the back of Tag's neck stand on end just a little bit, and he gives her the subtlest little eyebrow raise just to check in, see if he did in fact hear something from her. All right, yeah. So to that connection, and he'll stroll up to the window with her. So they're both arms behind the back, facing out. And he doesn't look at her, and he just says, "What's up? You good?"
Yeah, just trying to stay focused and not panic.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I thought it would be cool if I went to the window and like looked out.
No, it's very cool. I'm actually intimidated. You seem really ill at ease in someone else. Makes me think you're not intimidated at all.
What?
You seem really ill. You seem really at ease in someone else's space. It makes me think
Okay.
that you're not. Sorry.
Thanks. So you made me feel ill at ease by telling me that I looked ill at ease because I thought I was looking
You look
at
I
ease.
just- at ease. We often say, yeah. That was just a linguistic.
Is this
flaw.
all telepathic?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that they're
good.
like, you're kind of like very like
Oh yeah.
subtly nodding their heads as they're talking. You're like,
It feels like we've been talking for a while. And so from looking out at the thing, I'm just gazing off into the beyond, and I say, I'm very sorry. And then I turn back and I look at her like kind of half profile.
Sure. When you do, you can see that she's actually removed a flask from her drawer and is pouring it into a cup of coffee. And she says, I don't want to be interrupted, so I'm not going to send out for coffee for you, but forgive me. And she screws it on and then she fucking downs the whole coffee and then sets it down. And then she pulls from her pocket a device that you don't immediately recognize, Rex, but when she clicks it, you understand. And she like haphazardly onto her desk and she says, believe me, next week I'll burn the universe down, but I'm having a day. So I am going to ask that you forgive my lack of terror, but I do not have it in me this morning.
And you see some of the humanity return to Rex's face, and she says, I understand what that's like. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're going to be expected at your debriefing soon, and I have warned you in the past that I will not be able to account for everything that you're asked. There are agents working against me currently. This is not news, but I had been in a place of a bit more stable. So now there will be questions for you. Like I said, they're going to focus on any interdimensional experiences that you've had, whether it's technology, people, places, etc. Just be ready. That's all I'll say about the debriefing because I don't have more to say. Also, in order to make this meeting directly before your debriefing seem less suspicious, I do have actual company business that I will task you with, but we can deal with that at the end.
Okay.
You brought the OSI device.
I have some qualms about turning it over, but yes, we did bring
Understand. Please air them.
Well, I think you know all too well the temptations that this device presents
Indeed.
and the power that it is capable of harnessing.
Indeed.
I'm sure you can understand that I am reluctant to entrust it to anyone else.
Of course. I met with Rex. I am stepping away from my allegiance to the company or my desire to rise through its ranks. That being said, there needs to be a company here tomorrow for me to do so. The OSI device is sure to dismantle this place and its physical standing on the Void Planet very quickly, especially when combined with the siphon. Past that, should the headquarters fall in the state that the company currently is, we will not have the resources or the manpower to ensure our grasp on the continuum system. We are spread quite thin, and the bulk of our forces are here. I would very much like to destroy the OSI device so that the company continue to do what the company does, and so that I can one day be on the board asking you questions about the things you do not want to answer.
Looks like they could use some truth. Hashtag truther.
Truth,
Is this truth serum?
Right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Thank you, Thing.
Thanks,
A
Thing.
hookup from
Thanks,
Thing.
Very nice.
I want to alley-oop this because that's fucking sweet. Kale splashes a bit more from the flask into that cup, takes a sip, sets it down, and then turns to walk and look out the window at the rockets that are launching, giving you the opportunity to use this item now if you'd like. So rarely do we have a perfect opportunity when chat hooks us up. I don't want to miss it.
Yeah, I think we have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just tell us how you do it.
I think I motioned to Tag to like try and keep her occupied at the window. Like, it's an impressive view over there. What are they launching down there?
Yeah, yes. What are they launching? Those rockets. They look just like aubergines. Is that on purpose? Everyone loves a good, yeah. You seem very cultured. Eggplants. I was just trying to use the kind of sophisticated European term.
Right. That's a satellite. That's a satellite. That's a satellite. You can tell that her first cup of coffee is starting to take effect, and she says, that's probably arms and defenses. That's going to the orbit of lightning until the shield drops, because they're going to need to drop supplies. Supplies. Satellite. That's probably creatures.
I think her. If we could, it's a little tangential, but I think maybe like I see out of the corner of my eye, Rex is like having a hard time getting the cap off or something, and Kale is starting to lose interest in just naming what things are. So, is there a Mr. Kale in the picture?
No.
Would you like one?
Are you coming on to me, Tag?
No. Are you coming on to me? Because I'll talk to HR. Because
you will. She laughs and she puts a little palm on your cheek and gives you a little slap, and she says, "You're a little young and skinny for me."
Well,
I like a bit more
pop
meat
up
on
quite
the bone.
nicely. Right around 8 p.m.
After you've drank your salt water.
Yeah? How did you know?
She
Are you
just like way away and turns back to the desk as Rex has finished, and
like,
takes a.
I turned to Rex and I'm just sweating profusely. And
And I kind of give him like a sarcastic thumbs up. Like I had finished putting it in the drink. But
okay, well, I don't know. Rex, I panicked. I don't have eyes in the back of my head. I have psychic abilities. I'm not perfect.
She shoots back the whiskey, gives a face, sets it down. I don't think. Actually, she shoots back the vodka and sets it down. And then she. Yeah, that's right. I see you sitting up, Casey. She put vodka in coffee, all right? That's right.
So how do you plan on destroying the OSI device?
She gestures to the other side of the room. What you originally took to be some kind of office equipment. It's like the size of a large office's printer. She gestures over to it and says, "Follow me." And she brings you over, and she opens the lid, and a bit of sci-fi mist escapes, and you hear the hydraulics. Inside, there's a bunch of different glowing lights, one for each of the elements, and then a socket, which looks like it would be a little bit too small for the OSI device, fake or real. And she says, "This is something similar to what you would have seen the professor using on Bloom Planet. It's an anti-Eric's device. It's not what we have in mind, but it is very good at separating powerful forces from each other. It removes the bond between elements. So we just drop it in here, close it up tight. That box, if it comes from within, could withstand a 1 megaton nuclear explosion. I pull this lever and bada bing, bada boom, the OSI device is no more. It will be separated into its prime parts.
And then what happens with those?
They will be discarded.
Okay, well, that seems like a pretty major piece of this operation.
nuclear runoff where you've got, some half-life, 10 trillion year death energy floating around, or is there, a Control-Alt-Delete you're about to press on this OSI device and have it be gone? I mean, that's not even really gone, but you know what I mean.
We know better than to house our most dangerous waste on the Void Planet. There are plenty of other planets for that.
Blight planet.
The galaxy's trash dump, she says.
It's funny. Oh, wait, it's not. And it's also not cool at all.
Yes, I know. But some things just cannot disappear. Sam, surely you understand that.
Yeah, I do understand that. I also understand that, I'm going to ultimately, of course, let Rex make whatever decision that she wants. But for the sake of transparency, and probably much to the detriment of the desires of my compatriots, I have no desire to help the company in any way, ever. At all. And if I could do something that would actively make your life worse, I would do it. And I would do it joyfully. And I would help others do it too. Because I think you are the Antichrist. I also brought beignets if you'd like one.
I would love one. Sam, I hear what you're saying. I have no great response other than to say I am complimented, I suppose.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, like more so your position. It's really the company that's the Antichrist. You're a cog in the machine. So it's not that I hold you in high esteem as much as I generally think that the company is a detriment to the galaxy.
Perhaps. I try not to trouble myself with such things. How about this?
Makes work easier, I'm sure.
Quite.
Yeah. I respect that.
I do believe that you have no desire to see the OSI device continue to wreak havoc, and I can assure you any attempts you have to recreate it would be nearly impossible, but equally as detrimental. So how about this? I will hand over its prime materials, once it is destroyed, to you, and you may do whatever you'd like with them.
Does this truth serum have any time to efficacy? Does it take effect immediately?
Yeah, so the way that I see it, because I just want the most bang for things buck, is that it happens as soon as you give it, and then will last till the end of the scene.
Okay. Well, yeah,
that's
cool.
just something you as players can know mechanically.
Yeah, let's make use of that.
What do you have in mind? She's just got the lid to this thing open. She's kind of waiting for the OSI device. How did you guys bring the fake one in?
In a case, in like a rolling case, something that would make it so that we don't have to make physical contact with it. And
it's really, a bowling ball case.
It's
a bowling ball case. It's like an old sort of like galaxy patterned. What's that sort of like plastic, very shiny plastic?
Leather.
Okay.
So much of helping the illusion has to be in the presentation of the device itself, where you just got it in the old Jansport, not going to buy it quite the same.
Yeah, so she's under truth serum. She's not necessarily rushing you, but you are expected for an appointment. You have Kale truth serumed up if there's anything that you'd like to ask her.
Tell me more about how the company's forces are spread too thin at the moment. That sounds dangerous and like.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it just
because point of order. Unless we do something, she will remember everything that she has told us. Correct?
Yeah, I suppose she will. She also seems to be like in a fucking mood, so it's kind of hard to like tell what exactly is the truth there, and her just like not giving a fuck.
Right.
She says, "I have no problem telling you this. When the barriers went up around the planets, our supply line, which has been ceaseless since its inception, was put into a full stop. Many of the materials that we have over-leveraged ourselves several different planets suddenly lost fuel. There was a vast outage of power in many of our facilities. Places that were key research areas, like the last shore on Water Planet, are now no longer functioning.
You're
And-
welcome. Continue.
And all of our forces have been sent about to help in the recovery effort. So we are now running a planet-wide rescue operation on 6 different planets. On Lightning, we can only prep in orbit until that barrier comes down. And except for the device in the basement of this building, the only thing that drops those barriers is you. It has been months. Months. So we are spread thin. To be clear, Rex, you know the size of the company. So them being spread thin does not mean that they're like 5 people trying to do this. It is still like hundreds of thousands of people. This is a gigantic company, but that size is now working against them because the pieces and parts that all hold it together is what she's saying have broken down, which allows things like the white coats to kind of come out of the woodwork. You know, in these moments of weakness, the company's enemies now have opportunity to strike. Like they could be hitting people on the Fire Planet, and there's not anything Kale can necessarily do about it in any speedy way.
Did Kale order the of all of us? Was that her?
When was that? I don't remember because I've tried to tell you guys so many times.
Was
you
Kale
can
one of
tell
the
me-
ones
Tried.
tried to kill us?
I'm not making the jokes, okay? The dude whose character died is. All right, so what? What are you thinking of exactly, Bryn? I will
It's
tell
a
you the
coping
truth.
mechanism for pain.
If you can give me like just some of the specifics.
Has Kale ever?
Lady.
Shavana? Shavana
Yeah.
has actively tried to kill you. Kale has at times protected you. She goes on to describe the way that she thinks of your group. I will just kind of like generalize it. You are an asset to her. She doesn't necessarily trust you, but as long as you are doing what she needs you to be doing, she's fine to protect you, to keep you as an asset. And so she's been keeping tabs on you, but she's never tried to assassinate you.
Okay, I have a question then. Is the company aware that all of the summoners are meeting on Silva Celesso right now?
Oh, absolutely, yes. In fact, the task I will be officially giving you during this meeting has something to do with that.
Does the company have something to do with the fact that none of the summoners can leave the planet right now?
What do you mean?
I just had a very interesting conversation with my mother. She cannot leave the planet. That something is going on.
No. In fact, it is in the company's best interest that the Summoner Council convenes. You'll understand more later, but it would be a huge pain in the ass if there's a setback on that front, because God damn it, I said we're spread thin anymore. That there is an entity within the company working against my best interests, and as I've explained to you, though they do not always align with what the company sees as its best interests, my best interests are the company's best interests. Profit over everything.
What's up with what's up with that device that you have in your basement?
The siphon?
Yeah.
It was designed based on the prototype, which you now carry in that sparkly bowling ball case.
Sure.
It's one of those things where we don't necessarily have a plan for all that juicy, juicy energy that's being ripped from a different dimension. But people, far less intelligent than me, don't mind and have decided to obtain it and hoard it until they can find something to do with it. It's like somebody stumbling onto a nuclear missile and just deciding to keep it because it might come in handy.
So it's
That's
nothing
what I
to do with the malice in particular. It's just an energy source that happens to be true. Nothing. You answered my question. Thank you.
Interesting.
A tag kind of lights up with the group real quick. Okay, so she's coached us through destroying the device after she had the serum. So now we have to make a choice. Do we give her the OSI device?
If our objective is to destroy it, this seems like an opportunity. The real question is, how are we going to extract it from Bryn's staff?
The way that she described this box makes it seem like separating.
It could extract
things.
specific.
Yeah.
Without harming my staff.
Well, you'll just have to ask Kale.
Well,
if that's what you want to
Bryn,
do.
can you not also? I mean, you have such mastery over your staff. You pull things into it. Can you not cast them out as simply? I'm not asking rhetorically. I'm genuinely curious.
Right. I should be able to summon whatever is in that part of the staff and aim it towards the device that's going to destroy it.
Does that mean the chameleon's coming with it?
Possibly. I've never tried to, there's only ever been one thing in the staff at a time.
Well, I wonder. I do want to destroy the OSI device, but I wouldn't hate releasing a giant chameleon into a boardroom of company execs.
Can we get a lore check to help us determine what extraction method might be the most effective?
Yeah, I'll just give that to you. You could cast the summon. You could also put the entire staff into the box, or you could remove the single orb and just put the one that contains CNAC, the OSI device, and the skeleton in the self.
I vote for 3.
If you have any other imagination methods, I'm sure that they would work just fine too. Those are the 3 that come to mind.
So you would cost her an Eric's.
Well, you don't know what's going to happen after the lid gets opened back up, but a single orb would have less problems than probably the whole staff.
Yeah, that would be my vote of the 4 of us. That's where my vote goes.
And I kind of lock eyes with everybody, and it seems like we've come to an agreement. So I turn back to Kale and I say, we came prepared to deceive you today.
I would expect nothing less.
But I think you truly want to destroy this device just as much as we do. And I turn to Bryn and I say, I think you should try removing the orb and putting that in the squasher. What do you call that?
Why would I call it the squasher? It doesn't squash or squish.
Well, would it be the extractor?
That's better.
Okay.
And also, to be fair, we weren't just deceiving you. We were gauging whether or not you were going to deceive us, to be fair to Rex. So you don't have to be, she's still her.
Rex, you understand how the company works. This is all foreplay.
Fair enough. Yes.
I would just as soon the device leave this planet than be destroyed here. I also recognize it is in your destroyed. So we are in this moment. Again, I only emphasize this to make sure you realize I'm not trying to convince you of one too many things. In this moment, our objectives are aligned.
Sure. And tomorrow we'll go back to stabbing each other in the back.
Well, slowly pushing knives into the meat next to each other's spinal columns, but yes.
Fair enough.
I take it the OSI device is not in that glittery bag.
No, and I kind of floated against the glitter, but they really liked it.
Well, it was just part of the bag, and it just seemed like it was the right size and a very handy way to carry it. Sorry. Sorry.
Hey, you guys want to break this thing?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Bryn, you have in D&D terms, your staff is attuned to you. The magic in it and the magic in you are bound in a way that is difficult to replicate or untangle. And so if you were going to try and remove a very magical item from it, that is, I think it takes some doing. It's almost a conversation you're having on a sub language level. It's just like this magical exchange, but you are able to get the staff to release the orb. And when it does, there's just these strings, like it's like a spider web or a slime that for just a moment, and you can see that corruption which was spreading into the metal kind of pull out and then snap back into the orb as it plops into the machine. Kale says, well, without further ado, and slaps it down, and just like, it looks like a fucking copier. She just hits like 2 buttons, and then there's a big green
Hashtag
button.
Bryn in case she needs it.
Bryn, you got something.
Yay!
What is it?
Yay, thank you. Oh,
What
it's
is
from
it?
Keen. It's a +1. Thanks, Keen.
Thank you, Keith.
Thanks, Keen.
Thank
That's
you.
really nice. Thank you.
If I have to roll for anything ever, I will use it. Jesus.
She clicks the button and it lots more sci-fi steam, and then she opens the lid. Inside, there is a chameleon skull with a metal mask on top with 2 X'd out eyes. There is also a glowing and a key. Tag, will you please describe to us what this key looks like?
Yeah, it's very very. It looks kind of flimsy. It's like a very rusted metal. It's kind of got that sort of brown. What's the word I'm looking for? Rust colored. So brown, orange, rusty hue, and it's just a single line that traces or creates. It's all just an outline. It's not filled in solid. It's just kind of a wire entanglement that ends up making the shape of a key.
Sweet. It's way cooler.
Did we just fuck up CNAC? Y'all?
I don't know.
Okay, I'd like
What's
to. I just assumed that. I don't know. I just assumed that he would not be in danger of this operation. But let me make. I guess. Would it be investigate a mystery or read about situation? I don't know.
I think it would be investigate a mystery.
Same.
This will apply to everything in the box as you see it. You can ask these questions in any order, and they can apply to anything in the box.
Okay, not terrible. That's an 8. Where did it go? Referring to CNAC 88. I get 2, right? No, I get 1.
Yeah. With
There you
8, you get 2. I switched it up a little bit. I want you guys to be able to find out more cool stuff. So full success is 3, partials 2.
Yeah. Where do you go?
The presence is not on the mask, though you are picking up traces of that thing that kind of gave Senak's metal body life in the orb, though it is not dominant.
The orb is
the Eric's, sorry.
Let's say if this is a bit of a crude word, but sort of the soul of Senak.
That it seems like these orbs, these Eric's contain things, and you are getting a hint of Senak in the Eric's.
Buddy, all right. Then my next question will be, what is being concealed here? Again, following the same line about Senak.
When you click into the phase state, just visually to kind of get a sense of these items and find that trace of Senak's energy, you can see that the key is made out of solid malice. There is no other element on this thing. It is just malice. Oh, those are your only two questions?
That's it.
That's what you get. So Kale says, all right, this is your stuff. How would you like to distribute these items? I imagine, Bryn, you take the orb and put it back in your staff?
Yes.
It fits back in. It looks like the others now. That strangeness and the corruption that was in it before is clear. And so now you have all of these glowing orbs in your staff accompanied by the void orb.
Where it's going to come out when I summon that one.
We gotta, you know, I know we got stuff to do right now, but we gotta make a top priority. Find Senak a dope fucking body and pop his right back into it. Little transplant. Give him an upgrade. Maybe make him like a cool truck, like a transformer or something.
Yeah.
Tag, I take it you have the key.
Yeah.
Have you any use for the chameleon skull or the metal mask?
I mean,
Yeah, I
I
think-
take all of it.
Unless you want it, the fake Osai device that was in the glittering bag, and you can carry out the mask and the skull with it.
Can we put the fake Osai device through the machine and see what happens? We did imbue it with some magical properties.
We should keep it just in case.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll keep it.
Okay, yeah, you can
I
carry
feel
it
like
out.
in case we need to threaten somebody or bribe them.
Okay.
Because
It is a
nobody-
pretty...
yeah.
It'll count as... Yeah, that can be a chess piece that you guys can use. The required rolls, and it has an available tether for magic. You can use it as a chess piece later. Kale says, plus everybody gets 2 experience points. Oh, sorry, 1 experience point because you dealt with the Osai device. You still have 1 more objective, which is to get through your debriefing. But Kale says, Kale pulls you aside, Rex, and says, more so than these others, I find that you, while you do not always agree or even rarely agree, understand the way the company works. I'm sure there will come a time when we will be enemies because there's just not enough room in this town for the both of us. But until that day comes, I do look forward to working with you, Rex.
I hesitate to say likewise, but that is what I feel.
Excellent. Now, as I said, I do have an errand for you. You must get down to your debriefing quickly. I appreciate your work on this case. I understand that the odds were slim that Fennec would have come back alive. I will deal with that in my own way. But I do think your ability to obtain this device out of the grasping hands of every vile faction in this city is admirable. And I do appreciate everything that you've done to do this, as well as trusting me to destroy the device. I'm sure that trust will not last much longer, but it lasted long enough as far as I'm concerned. As to your errand, Let me see what I wrote about this errand. So we wouldn't look suspicious meeting before your debriefing. I've arranged a legitimate reason to call you up here. Time sensitive and all that good stuff. We need you to transport a company liaison to Silva Celesso and the Summoner Council.
Why?
She's still got truth serum, doesn't
I know.
Ah. Okay, let me think about how I'm going to play this scene then, because I thought I'd be lying to you during it.
Interesting.
Funny you should ask, Rex. Her name is Gilvia Corgold. She has business ingratiating herself and hopefully obtaining a seat on the Summoner Council because she is a summoner.
From where?
The company.
What?
Excuse me, what?
I'm sorry. What?
I don't have these notes. I just
That's
can't-
all right. I feel like that's the act break right there. That's our mission.
We're gonna take a 2-minute break.
Son of a biscuit.
I'm glad.
Matt Vansel.
Does it make me magical?
Red card.
Oh no. No.
So you're out 5 minutes because you said by 5 p.m. Wait, actors are like chili. By 5 p.m. they're shit.
Fair enough. It's a fair cup.
You in.
The following is a paid advertisement.
You all had the stew?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I need everybody to make an easy constitution check.
Are you kidding?
You all rolled ones. That's okay. It's just stew. They serve it at the inn all day long. No big deal.
Should be fine. Okay. What? What?
Your entire party dies of dysentery.
Gosh, we have builds that should let us survive that, but our dice betray us. I wish there were a way to show these dice what we really thought of them.
Has this ever happened to you? Your dice just hate you. You've tried everything to get them to roll well.
That's right. You can do this. Just let me know what you need. Massage, bubble bath. You could go on a date after this. Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese.
Seducing.
Hey. Come on, baby. Don't be like that. We're together. And the mood is right.
Reasoning.
You are a 20-sided die. The odds of rolling a 1 are 1 in 20. Now, the odds of rolling 5 ones in a row are 1 in 3.2 million. Why? Why are you sucking? Stop sucking, please.
Threatening.
Oh, really? You think I won't do it? I've done it before. I've done it before, and I'll do it to you.
And even dark offerings.
To the gods of blood, I offer you this sacrifice.
Then you need Die.Club, the ultimate in dice retribution services. Here's how it works, and some testimonials.
So the best thing about Die.Club is that they fit the punishment to the crime. For example, my rogue walking down a dungeon corridor. I roll a spot check. I roll a 1. I fail to see the gelatinous cube. I walk into it, get dissolved completely. Oh! Damn you, Die!
All I had to do was jump out of a tree. I had max ranks and tumble. I rolled a 1.
For a long time, I was just angry at the dice. I wanted to punish them, myself. But it's too hard. It hurt my hand. It hurt the tools I was trying to use. I even ate one of the die one time.
I had so many ranks in balance. So many ranks in balance. A suspension bridge over a pit of lava. I failed the roll. Obviously a 1.
So, I send my die off to Die.Club. Now my die is sitting in a jello mold in someone's refrigerator in North Carolina. Thanks, Die.Club.
Take the offending die. Place it and seal it in the provided envelope.
put my die in an envelope and sent it off to die.club, and a week later I got its Now I have time for my real friends. My Sailor Moon body pillow and I have gotten very close.
It wasn't just the feeling of satisfaction I got knowing that my die had been utterly destroyed. I got back together with my girlfriend. I got the idea to get that bike tire repair kit, and I haven't had a herpes outbreak in 5 months. Who knew how good my life could be thanks to Die.club?
Thanks to Die.club, I don't have to put myself in danger.
Everyone likes Die.club.
Thanks, Die.club. You gave me the vengeance I was looking for. I recommend it for everyone. Die.club worked for me. And me.
And me.
And me.
Go to Die.club today. That's Die.club. Hurry and visit Die.club. There's nothing like the amazing new Die.club. In case you missed it, that's Die.club. Die.club. It's a club where die. Act now and you'll be able to visit Die.club. Die.club, the same reliable Die.club your ancestors used. You too can visit Die.club and experience the magic that is Die.club. Die.club, it's your home for dice-related justice. Knock knock, who's there? It's Die.club. Don't forget about Die.club. That name again is Die.club, spelled Die.club, and available only at Die.club.
I'm probably going to be wearing a colostomy bag the rest of my life.
Okay, Kale looks to her watch and then clicks off that device that she had used to mask. I guess she doesn't click it off yet. But she holds it up and she says, "Unfortunately, I do not have time to elaborate on your errand. You are going to be late for your debriefing. If there's nothing else."
I just walk over to her and I say, I know we don't really know each other, and it feels like a lot of times we're on the opposite side of morality. But I would like to let you know that I met Fittich, and he surprisingly was very honorable. And before he passed away, I did knight him to the Fire Planet. So he did hold a title of respect, and I just want to say I'm sorry for your loss.
I think that she tentatively puts a hand on your, just like your forearm, and she says, "Because of our stations, Summoner, you and I are bound to be at each other's throat for the foreseeable future. But I will thank you and say, please don't take it personally."
All right. Also, don't underestimate me. Thank you so much. And I turn around and walk away.
Okay. You exit her room as she clicks the button and tosses it into a drawer and pulls the flask back out. In her lobby, goes over to a little installation. It's like a light and water sculpture that's been built into the wall. And the robot pushes a button so that the water elevator door is standing behind this and says, "This elevator will take you directly to the board."
Let's do it.
You hop on. There is only one button. It is unmarked, but it does start to take you down.
Point of clarity just before we get on.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about to be asked? Why are we? I know you need to report to the people you work for. What is it that is about to happen right here? What did Sam agree to?
So, I'd be happy, Rex, if you want to field this one.
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay. In a move that Kale made, she used the board to recall Rex home so that Rex and her team could answer for the events at the Last Shore research facility.
Oh, that's
good.
gonna.
That shit up and killed Shavanov.
Right.
But Hale also did say that from the people she knows on the board, they're using that in the same way that she did as an excuse to get you here when their questions are going to be involving interdimensional subjects.
Ah, okay. Great.
Okay. The elevator doors open, and you see that you are in a large, dark amphitheater. Another robotic attendant approaches and says, "Greetings. We appreciate your punctuality. If you wouldn't mind following me." And he brings you to a side chamber with an uncomfortable couch and some room temperature water bottles.
Perfect. My favorite.
He then says, "You are to be debriefed one at a time." And then walks away. Now, I didn't think that'd be very fun. So we're going to do this as a split scene. I have some questions. Before I ask each one, I will say a name. That name will be who it is that's on stage being debriefed. As each of you are taken out there, you do see that there is a table back in the shadows at the edge of the stage, so that only the outlines of the people sitting at it are clear. Though their voices do betray their gender, their silhouettes do not. You cannot see their features or know anything about them. And sitting behind them on a slightly elevated platform are two more people in the same way. You are led onto the stage where a small spotlight is clicked on very loud in this very large amphitheater, otherwise completely dark. And your debriefing will begin. Tag.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions before we begin?
Oh, no. I mean, no. Gosh, I just am happy to be here. Happy to be talking to you fine folk. Can't see you too well. I feel like this. You need one more light. just a what?
Have you had any contact with any entities which reside?
Well, yeah. That's I don't know. I don't know if you have like my file. I'm sure you guys have my file. Who am I kidding? You have a file on me. But yeah, I often, a lot of what I do is psychic. So, you could say I've got a summer home in the phase state. So yeah, I'm in that other dimension often. It's hot in here.
Summoner Co-Saint.
Like a Pepsi or something to.
Summoner Co-Saint, do you have any questions before we begin?
No.
Have you had any contact with entities which reside outside this dimension?
This dimension? I don't think so.
Sam Hagen, do you have any questions before we begin?
Not a very hospitable lighting setup you guys got here.
Have you made any discoveries in terms of harnessing and storing elemental energies which are unknown to the inhabitants of our reality?
Okay, I don't know half of what you just said.
Have you had any contact with any entities which reside outside this dimension?
Met a perfect 10 once.
Executive Rex, do you have any questions before?
Can I get some coffee?
No. What do you know of the rifts?
I know that they're sucking energy from these various planets and making it so we can't communicate with each other.
Have you had any contact with any entities which reside outside this dimension?
No.
Have you made any discoveries in terms of harnessing and storing elemental energies which are unknown to the inhabitants of our reality?
No.
What happened at the Last Shore research facility on the water planet?
I saved the world.
How?
You're welcome. the forces that that team was operating with, if they had gone off planet, the destruction would have been unfathomable.
You're certain of this?
Absolutely certain.
May we see your notes? It seems they were not included in your report. Your projections?
I don't know why they wouldn't have been included in my report. I include all of my notes in my report.
Oh, I'm sorry, we need the hard data for the projections and estimates of the destruction of which you seek.
I didn't crunch the numbers. It was a call based on the situation at hand.
Ah. Tag. Define your connection to the summoner.
Best buds. BFFs. She's great.
What are its limits?
Its limits? Well, we've never lied to each other yet, but I think that if one of us did, that we would probably, that would throw us for a loop, and we'd have to rebuild that trust and, do stuff together as friends, just little stuff like, and like just let it be sort of a one-time thing instead of just assuming we're going to hang out all day kind of thing, just there.
Sure. When you say rebuild, you're speaking metaphorically, but we are aware there is a connection that can be monitored, measured, and defined. Would you need to...
Yeah, sorry, you're referring to our friendship bracelets. Those are...
You speak of using psychic abilities and spending your summer days in the phase state. Does this have anything to do with your connection to the summoner?
Oh, I'm connected to the summoner in so many different ways. I think we share an emotional connection. We like the same movies. I think, just have fun together. We share a connection in terms of, like sometimes I'll start to say a sentence. I'll be like, man, I sure wish that we had, and she would be like, whole jar of peanut butter. And I'll say like, yes, because that's what I was thinking too. And so that's a very interesting form of connection we have.
Bryn Casaint, can you explain your connection to the parallel tag?
It has to do with a tooth.
How does it work?
I don't really understand it. He gave me the tooth device. I pat it, and it turns on a connection between the two of us, and we can talk to each other. Travels across the air molecules. I don't really know.
What are its limits?
Bathroom usage? Like, we don't mess with each other when we're going to the bathroom?
Interesting. And can this connection be replicated?
Replicated? Like, can I talk to anybody else through my head? No.
Sam Hagen. What do you know? Oh. I wrote these questions before last episode.
Oh.
Sam Hagen, what do you know of the entity Puck?
I don't understand the question.
You are aware of the entity Puck?
The big purple rock? Yeah.
Indeed. Spriggan, genus, found local to Void Planet. What do you know of his abilities?
Well, he's purple.
Executive Rex, where does your allegiance lie?
I don't understand the question.
To whom do you answer to?
To you, of course.
To the board?
To the company.
To the board?
You are the ones in charge of the company, so yes, to you, the board, I suppose.
Have you any insight into Executive Kale's intentions?
Her intentions are the company's intentions. I don't understand that question either.
What is your current objective?
To follow the company's directives as I understand them to be and as have been communicated to me, to ensure the company's stability in the chaotic world, and to make sure that we are the ultimate source of strength in the galaxy.
What happened at the last shore research facility on the water planet?
I protected all of those objectives.
Tag.
Yep.
What do you know of the entity Puck?
Know he made the best cookies that I've ever tasted. Know that he had a knack for making everyone feel welcome and important. And I know that there's no one else like him.
Bryn, Summoner Saint. Can you explain to us how you're able to harness and weaponize elements other than fire?
No, I mean, I don't know the mechanics behind it. I assumed all summoners could do that.
Summoners, besides yourself and your mother, are usually confined to the use of one element. How would you describe your ability and your mother's ability to harness others?
I don't know. I reach out and feel the energy that's around the element, and I summon it to myself. I've never really thought about it. Nobody told me that I was only supposed to be able to use fire. Nobody told me anything.
Supposed to is not the language we would use. Where do you go when you touch magic?
Where do I go when I touch magic? Well, I mean, I stay here, of course, but I guess I just go inside my head. It's kind of when you go to sleep and you dream. You know you're still in your body, but your mind goes somewhere else. So for a minute, I reach out and it goes somewhere else, and I kind of call the magic to me, and then it comes. I don't really overthink it. If I overthink it, then I can't do it.
What is your affiliation with the fugitive Dr. Baxter Brodigan?
Dr. Brodigan? He went on a couple missions with us, and, you know, we had some interesting conversations, and that's about it. I think I tried to... Oh, I found his... Did I find his shoes first? I think I found his shoes in a river once. And that's about it.
Are you or your mother in contact with the fugitive Dr. Baxter Brodigan?
Are we in contact? No, do you know where he is? I would really like to give him a call. If you could give me his number, it'd be great.
We do not. Sam, what is your connection to the Morelli crime family?
Who exactly am I talking to here? I feel like
there is no response. Nobody raises a hand, and you're not even sure where the voice is coming from.
This is like the worst piece of shadow puppetry I've ever seen. It's like a bunch of gumdrops just sitting in the dark, reading somebody else's lines. It's like reverse theater. I'm on stage. You guys are doing the show in the audience. Yeah, this is cute. This is real cute.
Are you aware that we scan everyone who walks through the doors of the company HQ to ensure our safety?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Sounds like a thing that you guys would do.
I imagine you know we have a complete bioscan of yourself and the entity Puck on file.
Oh, okay.
When you walked through the doors this afternoon, those readings did not match. Explain.
Kiss my kneecaps.
Executive Rex, what happened at the Lost Shore research facility on the water planet?
I've told you. I destroyed it so that the entities on it could not escape the planet.
What is your current objective?
To serve the company's needs and missions and directives.
To whom do you answer to?
The company.
The board?
Sure.
Where does your allegiance lie, Executive Rex?
With ensuring that the company remains the dominant power in our galaxy.
Tag. Can your connection to the summoner be replicated?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I can replicate it. It's an ongoing thing, but like, can you guys do it? I don't think so. Can you? Try. Are you doing it now? I'm not
No. What happened at the Last Shore research facility on the Water Planet?
Gosh, that was a long time ago. So Bryn saw someone that well, it's complicated. I think it was a friendship, and there was maybe a sense of romance, but I don't know that it was reciprocated. And they kind of just missed each other in their life, and it was a big deal, you know, that reunion. I really feel like that was, you know, a chance for us all to look at the decisions we've made and think about, you know, what's really matters here, what's important, and you know. So yeah, it was a really serious trip. That was intense. That was intense, those two seeing each other.
Summoner Casaint, what happened at the Last Shore research facility on the Water Planet?
Oh my gosh. Well, Tag got a wiggly boy in his brain, and I tried to make him throw it up by saying really gross stuff. And then we met a guy named Eric Dobbins who was very, very comical and terrible at his job. I ran into my ex-girlfriend, which was really awkward, and I pretty much hate water, so I never want to go there again.
Tell us more about Eric Dobbins.
Eric Dobbins? German accent, big ego, yelled a lot. I don't really remember a lot about him. I just know that we shut down his operations and we left.
You rescued him from the facility?
Yeah, of course I did.
And brought him aboard your spaceship, Haven?
Yes.
Where is he?
I don't know. I don't ask the administrative questions.
So you rescued the laboratory, brought him back to your spaceship, and then when he went missing, you did not ask the administrative questions?
He went missing. I assumed he was going to be relocated to another of your facilities to continue experiments.
He would have if your ship had brought him to any one of them.
Well, that's weird. I mean, we're pretty efficient, so that wasn't my duty, so I didn't think to check up on it. He should have been delivered.
Interesting. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, but my mind was a little bit, ex-girlfriend, hello. I really wasn't thinking straight.
Thank you. That will be all. Executive Rex. What happened to Air Dobbins? You're on mute.
Muted.
To just stay quiet the entire time, just as a power play, but I don't know.
Explain.
He's an extremely capable and intelligent scientist who we were not ordered to detain. And I assume that he had his own designs and motives in play, and he disappeared.
We've reviewed your file in preparation for this debriefing.
Naturally.
You've successfully completed 83 official company operations and 26 unofficial company operations. 14 of those required you to extract or detain a VIP and remove them to safety. Missions. Your VIP made it home safe. And now you're asking us to believe that you extracted the head from a top
story
secret.
time for Bryn. How did your coronation go? I hear you got Flame Boys to play. Later, of course. Season finale stuff first.
Thank you.
Who is that?
Bryn Coronation, gonna write that down.
It's Suka! Yay!
Thank you. That's really cool.
Thank you, Suka.
Thank you.
Suka.
Now you expect this.
Herbert's coming back.
Yes. Yes.
Executive Rex, you expect us to believe that you extracted the head researcher from a top secret company facility which you destroyed, brought them back to your spaceship, which was the only company asset in that space, and then allowed this person to disappear in the dark of space without any other vessels nearby, without your notice.
I am very, very, very good at what I do. But even I am human. And the situation that we've been dealing with all of these planets being locked away is unlike any other mission I've encountered ever. So yes, that is what happened.
Is it possible then that Air Dobbins was not human?
I hadn't considered that possibility.
Any entities which reside outside this dimension?
Like on a personal first name basis, like we go get coffee.
That would be wonderful, though I doubt the familiarity would develop so quickly. Any contact with any entities which reside outside this dimension?
No.
Have you made any discoveries in terms of harnessing and storing elemental energies which are unknown to the inhabitants of our reality?
No.
Thank you, Executive Rex. That will be all. And you are all dismissed.
Thanks, everybody. Do we throw on the lights now and do a little meet and greet?
How'd we do? Did we get an A?
Are you guys asking this to the board?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tag, I assume, is.
Yeah.
Are you, Bryn?
Yes. I'm very
You actually
competitive with my
want-
grading.
When you are on stage, the spotlights click out, so you are left in complete blackness. And then you see two little glowing robot eyes approach from the direction that you were brought in. And then the lights slowly rise. Auditorium that could easily seat 1,000. And you've actually been on a stage that would be in the round of these 1,000 seats. And the robot is leading you away from the table, which is now empty.
Wait, is that
Yes.
these always go like that?
I've never personally been debriefed. Thank God.
Hey, let me ask you a question. If you could like have any kind of frame, you know, any sorts of upgrades you would want really in right now for robots.
Are you familiar with Heelys?
Heelys? You mean the little rollers that come out of your shoes and you can kind of... Yeah, of course I'm familiar with Heelys. They're dope.
With my balance and proficiency, having little wheels on my heels would only make me several times more efficient.
Well, thanks. Thank you.
That little head shimmy. Just like, ooh, his little servo's just gearing up for higher efficiency.
So here's what's up, my little bumblebees. You've been given your next task. There's not much left that I have set for the Void Planet. So before I take you away, is there anything that you'd like to do?
Yeah,
Oh, fuck, we gotta do the siphon.
I was like,
I just
what siphon? What are you
Did I
talking
miss
about?
something?
It says like heist in my notes. My bad. Okay, so Kale informed you that the card change would be happening towards the end of your debriefing. Just grab a room temperature water bottle and then head out. You're escorted into the lobby after you take the private elevator back by another robo servant. So I guess the main question is, the siphon's located in the basement. You're not going to have any trouble getting to it because of Rex's clearance. Kale.
Also, maybe I swiped Kale's card when we were in her office.
Did you? Let's see. Roll, I think, just act under pressure.
I did not swipe Kale's card.
Oh, no.
Okay. But you do have an executive card.
Right.
I guess the question that I have for you
But
is...
maybe I swiped somebody else's card.
You stole the janitor's card! It's cursed! Do you want to... just give me, like, the flavor of this thing. Are you guys trying to go sneaky? Do you want to not know it, let anybody know that you did this thing? Are you going guns blazing? Are you trying to blow up the building? Like, what do you want?
I say a bit of a sneak to start with. No reason. If we were going to go into guns blazing, then I don't know that I would have stood for that whole interrogation.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So there is going to be an elevator which is private. Rex, you're pretty sure that your card will activate it, but it is guarded by 2 line to be using it, and the door above it says research facility with an arrow pointed down. How would you like to get into the elevator?
I'm debating whether or not we should have a conversation with the guards, or we should just walk in there like we actually have every right to be there and do this.
That's up to you guys.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah, I'm gonna approach it as we have every right to be there and do this.
Okay. You get to the elevator, and before you're able to step in, one of the guards stands in front of you and says, "Executive, may I inquire as to your purpose in the research laboratories?"
Of course. We are here on an errand for Miss Kale, Executive Kale. I'm sure you're familiar with her. We have been
Quite.
tasked with a very important mission that I cannot disclose the details of, but it requires gathering some supplies before we escort someone.
Okay. So roll manipulate someone, which is going to be charm, which I think you get to use your tough for. Or your...
Yeah, I do. Oh, no. Okay, wait, that's a +2. I'm going to use one of my +1s. That's a 7.
Nice.
Yeah, you roll so low. They'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it.
What, like punch him in the nards?
If that is your instinct,
would show that you mean it.
They are slowing us down on this very important mission.
They say, they write down, they ask if they can see your executive card. They take it and they write down all of your information and they say, we will be forwarding this to Miss Kale so that she can sign off.
Of course.
They give you back your card and let you into the elevator.
Is it all of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume. I mean, it's up to you guys, but I assume that the crew's down to pound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are in the elevator. There is a button that says Research Laboratories. When you
And I turn to Sam and I say, if there's anything you can do to their internal systems at some point, click, 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 to erase that record, that would be great. But if not, we'll live with it.
Yes, Sam. Is there anything you can do? You're on mute.
Maybe.
Okay. The elevator goes down.
The device, I still have the device going, and I say, listen, we can talk about this more later, but I want you to know I share a lot of the same feelings you do. Click, click.
The doors open and you can see that there is indeed a shift change happening. There's only a couple guards down here, but there is quite a few scientists in lab coats who are gathering their things and preparing to leave. Nobody else came down with you on the elevator, but you can see that you will have a brief window in which to something. I will tell you what you see. There is just a little lobby where you are now, and then an observation room and a locker room where all of these scientists are grabbing their shit before they leave and heading towards the elevator. There's only one elevator, so they're holding it to get everybody on, and then they're all going to go upstairs. Nobody will come back down until that elevator is there. There's 2 guards who are going to be here. In the observation room, there is all of the controls you will need to do whatever kind of shit you just suggested Sam might need to do. And past that, the only other thing in this research laboratory, built into the foundations of a skyscraper that you can see stretches above the clouds, there is a massive, massive machine. It just has ports that take up most of the space, but there's a gigantic engine that reminds you of a jet engine if that jet engine was 15 times larger than normal. And then it is bracketed into something that is floating in midair. Clamps that you've never seen that seem to be half in, half out of this dimension. And it is making a lot of noise. Over to the side, there's what looks like rows and rows and rows of batteries. And they are all hooked into this giant machine. So as the last scientist gets on and the doors close, you will now have a pocket of time to do whatever it is you're going to do. I will tell you this. You've been told, before we just start making crazy things, I just want to reestablish something that we've done. Simply destroy without taking any precautions could be bad, because of the unstable nature of this surplus of malice energy that's just being fucking bottled like Coca-Cola next to this thing. The connection is strong but brittle. There's 2 guards in the room with you. If you'd like to use a timed method or remote method, it could possibly cover your shit. As well as all he needs is a small window to shut down the rift on his side.
I go. There are 2 guards stationed here, presumably by the elevator?
Yeah, it seems like anybody who comes down here had to pass through several security measures to get down here. So they're just chilling by the elevators, doing nothing. They're not even really watching you, but you realize if you start fucking around, they will have a clear view of it.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up? There's a guy and a gal, and the guy just says, hey, what's up? Nothing.
Where do you see you got a death wish? What are you still doing here?
What do you mean?
Did you not see everybody go up the elevator?
He looks to the lady. Yeah?
Sorry, do you not know who that is? Pointing to Rex.
We do?
Okay. Look, I'm an independent contract here. I don't want to come up and criticize whatever sort of internal systems you guys have in play, but clearly there's a lapse in communication. You guys are not getting the memos, and it poses a serious health risk. Have you ever considered talking to your HR department? Because it doesn't seem like they care about your safety very much.
What is the health risk?
The health risk?
And I walk over and I'm like, that thing is wildly unstable. They've sent us down here to take care of it. You are being put at an extreme, like, neither of you probably going to be able to have children now if you stay here any longer.
He looks terrified. The woman's like, whew,
they bring in us because sort of as a paranormal testing team to put it under extreme duress circumstances because we can handle the fallout from that because of the adaptability of our genome. Forgive me, you guys both seem human. I don't know that you've either undergone the company's extensive radiotherapy process to be prepared to handle what might happen.
The guy isn't arguing. He just looks confused, but the lady stands up and says, I've been working in these labs for a while. And she steps back into the elevator, or she hits the button as it's closing. You know, the last scientist has just gone in. I'm going to give you guys a window here because I established only a single exit. And if you're trying to get these cats out, far enough away that the people in the elevator haven't heard, she's stepping back towards it and she says, we'd be happy to step off the floor so that you can do whatever you want if you could just let us know who we should be filing this with. And she's taken out her little tablet and stylus.
Yeah, I think you got a couple complaints to run up the flagpole. One, I think you got to talk to your HR department because they clearly don't give a flip about you or your health. I'd say that's your number one priority.
I apologize. I know full well how to be ignored by the company's HR department. I mean this change of our schedule. I'm going to need to log it. Who should I tag on top?
I'm going to take a risk here. Any kind of unstable elemental therapies, that's all going to go through Brodigan.
Okay. He writes that on the thing. And then... Or sorry, she writes that on the thing, and then she nods to her buddy, and they walk the 10 feet back and get in the elevator, and it... Clear. A report is being sent to Kale, and a report is being flagged for Professor Brodigan. All right. You are now in the room. Basically, I'm just going to give you guys the time you need to do whatever it is you're going to do. You can just kind of explain it to me in the app if any of you have any ideas, and then we can make some rolls if necessary.
I have a crazy idea.
I think
we summon CNAC.
Tell me
If anyone's going to know how to work this device, it's going to be him, and he might be able to give us the delayed activation point that we need.
I had an idea for what it would look like, and I didn't think I'd be able to use it. How do you do it, Bryn? Just tell me how you summon him, and I'll tell you what comes out of your staff.
Well, I'm going to pull out my staff, and I'm going to look very intently at the void gem, and I'm going to think with all my heart about CNAC and hope he's in there, and then just start letting the magic flow out of me into that specific stone.
Sure. What explodes out of your staff in typical summoning fashion is that chameleon which you had seen and fought in the strange phase state arena, except it's wearing armor and then sitting atop it, holding the reins and a jousting pole, is CNAC, and his body has been... it's not as though he's wearing armor, it's though his metal exoskeleton has changed to look like it. And he lifts up the visor and he's like, "What's up, y'all? Need me to fuck some shit up?"
CNAC, hey, how you doing?
Well, ever since you separated that device, I'm doing great.
I'd love to hear it.
What's it like living in my staff?
Pretty chill, honestly. Things had gotten bad there towards the end, so this little breather I've been afforded in a pure fucking void energy has been nice. I don't know if you know this, but machines run on void energy for the most part. They're powered by lightning, and there's other parts of them that use other elements, but for the most part, pure fucking cushy void energy. I'm doing good, y'all. And he holds up the lance.
Do you do some jousting in there?
What? Oh, I just thought this would be dope. Normally, summons only come out during battles, so I figured, you know.
Yeah, you look. It is dope. It's dope as hell.
Thanks.
Listen, we are trying to blow up this machine. Contraption feels too diminutive for this giant thing we're looking at. This gizmo here.
So, mechanically speaking, burning a summon can give you quite a bit of play here. CNAC will be able to do whatever it is you need him to do to this machine, which would extinguish the void summon for this arc, which is coming to an end today. However, that will be the only thing he can do. If you at all want to try and cover your tracks electronically or do any of those other things, that will be up to you. But you just let me know what CNAC needs to do and I'll tell you how he does it. It could be as simple as like, I want to blow this thing up now. I want to blow this thing up later. I just want to shut the thing down or whatever.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and try to erase our tracks. I feel like that's a good first step. Make sure that whatever we do, it doesn't go into the computer system.
Yeah.
And I turn to the rest of the group and I say, is it crazy to just destroy this place? Like, to just destroy this place?
I mean, crazy how?
I mean, we will be killing innocent people, so.
Wait, who? How? What? Who?
That depends on how you go about it.
What if we evacuated the building?
If you're going to nuke it, you could do that. The thing that Half-Dad said was that he would enable you to do so without causing an explosion.
Awesome.
So you've got a couple paths. So if you want to go like no explosion, you can go Half-Dad's route. If you want to nuke this thing, we could like end of Fight Club this tower.
I could pull the fire alarm. I'll get everybody out. I've always wanted to. I never did.
Is that crazy?
To blow up a company building? Look, y'all, I want to take down the company, and I want to say yes to blowing stuff up. I think that we run the risk of picking up a lot of heat that is going to make it harder for us to deliver the coup de grace we want to. And this might be a situation where a bit more discretion allows us to muster more firepower going into the end game.
When you say that, CNAC's like holding two cables, almost pushing them together, and just like, oh, whew, okay, good thing I was listening.
Yeah, 1 second, buddy. You really went there fast.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right.
It's just my thoughts. We disrupt it, let Half-Dad's team come in and do the dirty work.
I don't trust them any more than I trust the company is the problem.
Yeah, this is hard to explain.
We need a truth serum, Half-Dad.
Yeah, I actually don't. I don't think I need that, and I offer, but guys, I know that I'm naive, and I know that I believe not only in the best in people generally, but I'm looking to believe in the possibility of change for this one individual, not only because he's my half-dad, but for the selfish reasons that it gives me hope that the path that I'm locked. So I get it. I'm not the best barometer of truth here, but all that aside, I really do believe that there is something in there that is not all evil and not all destruction and deception. And I think that this is one situation where they are going to do right by us.
Okay, well, I trust you, and if you trust him, then that's good enough for me.
I do.
I certainly hope you're right, because for whatever reason, I have no idea how this community is supposed to work. So.
Well, fuck. Kale owes us a favor, you know? We knew that we were going to be, it was only a matter of time until we were at each other's heels again, trying to get one up on the other. We got this one, but let's not pretend for a second like as soon as we walked out of her office, she wasn't looking for the way to get one up on us.
Sure.
She might.
I didn't think we'd return to open warfare quite so quickly, but yeah. If we can't cover our tracks, we can't cover our tracks.
Rex, that's your department. You
can call Kale anytime you're not locked out of communication. Rex, you do have a direct line to Kale. Have painted yourself into a corner. You do have a move called Deal with the Company, in which you can just try and get a little extra support. In this situation, because it is Kale and she's a senior executive, I'll give you an additional +1. You do not need to make that call from inside the building.
I've got one more option.
It's better to, ask for forgiveness than for permission. So I think we'll wait to call her until after we do whatever we're going to do down here.
#truther him all for dosing Hey Dad the first chance we get. Here's some serum for Bryn to use judiciously.
Oh.
All right, Bryn, make a note of that, because I'm going to leave it up to you when you decide to truth serum him.
I didn't hear what that was. What's the deal?
Truth serum for Half Dad.
Yep, from Merc.
Thanks, Merc. Thank you.
Ask and you shall receive.
How am I going to get him to drink?
He's fiery, you know.
So I think Rex is pretty worked up. Like she's definitely been on the brink ever since we lost Puck, and really itching to like destroy some stuff. And so I think at this point she's just kind of walked over to the batteries and like, well, can we at least unplug this shit? Like, can we destroy this?
Yeah, we can destroy all of it. Here's the other option. If like, and Rex, this is gonna be a call that I leave to you. But if keeping our name out of Kale's ear is important, I think that we can put CNAC on that job. And I do believe that if what we're worried about is an explosion, I didn't pay the most attention in electrophysics, but is the concept grounding? And I think that ground could be me. I am Malice at some level. So if what we're worried about is that, I think that I can take that in. I really do. For a new building, obviously, no, that's going to destroy me. But if we're just looking to knock this thing off its axis and be the bucket and the mop.
I think that is a tactic, just to clear some stuff up. You calling and saying like, yo, we did it, I need you to cover our tracks, is a viable phone call. And so you will just make your role, but narratively that fits, right? You're saying like, hey, we did what you asked, we kind of fucked up with the security, whatever. Wait, you can do that.
This is embarrassing. Kale asked us to do this? I thought Half Dad asked us to do this. Kale asked us to...
did.
Oh.
Their reasons were very different, but they both asked you to do this.
All right.
Half Dad doesn't like people taking his shit. Kale's worried that doing this is going to destroy the company, or just this fucking building like that. Then this building going down could, as she explained to Rex, because they're spread so thin, cause a chain reaction that then, you know.
Oh, then
wait.
We're clear. We do whatever we want.
Wait then. So do we not want to do anything and just let the company just bidoo unravel a little bit?
I do want the company to unravel a little bit. But I hate to say this, but I think one of our greatest allies in the ultimate destruction of the company is going to be Popsicle.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
Oh, he fucking hates the company. Dude is trying to like...
Isn't he trying to innovate our whole like dimension though?
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, by proxy, it's sort of like, it's sort of against our interests for him to destroy the company if he takes the rest of our universe with it, right?
Well, it's like, it's a little more akin to the like, we've got a rat infestation. We bring
Sink the boat.
Cats. And then eventually we'll probably have to deal with the, 4.5 dozen cats we got running around our 2-bedroom apartment. But that's a problem for future us. Right now, we gotta.
All right. Well, just to run with this, I can never remember if it's a metaphor or an analogy, but to run with this or a simile, this must be an analogy. Yeah, I don't know. Literary minds. You guys are magicians. Is literacy not high in all that spellcasting? All right. So, I think for whatever this. It's more like letting in rabid wolverines to take care of the rats that, they're going to take care of the rats, but they're absolutely going to kill us too. Maybe not even in, any particular order. I'm sorry, I deviate. What is the thing that makes you think that you think the allyship is based off of your father's distaste for the company, which I can respect?
He's only half my father, and yes. And also, if I am going to be perfectly honest, it serves me as well. Because if I do this for him, he releases me. And you're right, this is not a done deal. It's still a calculation.
He releases you from...
my destiny, I think.
Wait, that sounds like a very nebulous releasing clause from your destiny, you think?
Yeah, I don't think he's really big into legalese. I think he's more into, apocalyptic language about how I am destined to bring about the end of time. And I don't really want to do that, so...
Yeah, that's heavy.
I think our time is cutting pretty close, so we should probably make a decision.
Yeah.
You can see the lights above the elevator just like ding, ding, ding as they're going through sub basements. CNAC's
I think I can get Kale to cover our tracks electronically. I don't trust letting Half-Dad in here to destroy anything. So maybe we ask CNAC to do it?
CNAC's like, yeah! He kind of like jumps off of the chameleon into the machine, kind of like into it, and then sticks his head back out and he's like, when do you want this thing to break? Like, tomorrow? A week from now? What do you want? So, no, I can just make it so it stops working. He's been like eavesdropping on whatever you need your Half-Dad guy to do. I can give him that hiccup that'll allow him to change the polarity of this thing.
Okay, yeah.
Or what if we just shut it down and destroy it?
Yeah, I think that's the same thing, maybe. Am I wrong?
You achieved the same thing. So basically, a time delay will allow you to walk out of here and call Kale and ask for secrecy. If you put a hammer to this thing right now, open, scientists come out, see that it's broken. We play with that scenario. Neither of which are wrong.
So yeah, let's plant CNAC, get out of here, talk to Kale, make sure that she arranges for this place to be empty at midnight tonight, tomorrow, and there it goes.
All right. He like disappears for a second. Nothing changes externally on this machine, and then he comes back out and he says, "Fuck that thing up." All right. And then he jumps back on the chameleon and he's like, "See y'all soon."
Good
back
CNAC.
on the Bryn staff.
That's nice. He seems like he's doing pretty well.
He seems very happy. We
Yes,
finally
he's very happy. That
did right
I'm
by
not
him.
gonna torture CNAC just because you guys did some weird stuff with the OSI device.
I don't know. You tortured him for this whole arc where you had the OSI device.
Super Saiyan, so maybe he was enjoying that too.
Inevitably, he was. Who couldn't?
So the elevator doors open and the next group of scientists come out, followed by those same two guards, and the lady approaches and says, everybody cool to be back here?
Yeah, you look good. Well, I'm serious. Talk to HR, because that's unacceptable.
Okay.
I'm serious. Don't to dismiss me. This is your health.
No, I get it. I've just worked here for a long time, and I will try.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you. All right, so you're... is there anything else you want to do on the Void Planet now that I didn't forget the heist and we've done it?
I'd like to send the mask that I wore to see Ira.
With
a note.
What is it?
It says to be continued.
Okay. Ira, I believe you didn't use the boon Ira could provide during that battle, because the battle was over relatively quick. So I will say Ira can be a hanging asset. And so if you get into a situation in the next arc to have retroactively either sent you an item, given you something, or done something that could help you, mark that on your sheet, because Ira can remain an asset for that one thing.
Okay.
You get one thing out of it, and they appreciate the gesture of the mask. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Rex, roll deal with the company.
That is a 10.
Okay. Yeah. Kale answers. She understands the necessity to not evacuate, but clear people for midnight, and she assures you that she will be able to find some way to do that, and also to erase your tracks. She catches the Dr. Brodigan report and says, "You're an idiot," and then also catches the one that would be sent to hers anyways, and says, "I can smooth that over midnight tonight. Great work." And there is no cost for a 10+, so you're okay. When you make it back to the main lobby, you're then escorted into another elevator. This building is made out of 4 windows and 1,000 elevators. To an executive hangar near the roof of the HQ tower. These are the ones that you saw in other buildings. They're actually functioning hangars that are built into the top several floors of these towers. This is a large space with dozens of sleek shuttlecrafts, but minimal foot traffic. A crew of robots loads the last few bags onto a nearby shuttle. A woman in a long black robe stands at the is clean-shaven, and her scalp is decorated with glowing tattoos. They are a combination of numbers and barcodes. At your arrival, she gives a courteous little bow and says, "Greetings. I am Gilvia Korgold. It seems I'm in your debt for taking on this escort mission on such short notice.
Pleased to meet you.
As I am you, Executive Rex. And she takes in the group.
I take her and I don't trust her.
Is there anything you would like to do about it? You could investigate a mystery.
Could I?
Or
my mirror is really just for, like, compact is just for revealing if somebody's, like, hiding their, like, physical appearance, or does it show, like, somebody's true intention?
What you've seen is that it shows basically how they're represented in the phase state, which is kind of an essence reading, I guess.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, excuse me, I'd like to look my best when I meet you. When I turn around and I open the compact and powder my nose and, like, aim it at her.
Sure. What you see, Tag has explained to you what you look like in the phase state. You're this, like,
beautiful, just simply beautiful.
This, like,
stunning,
glowing goddess. When I say glowing, healthy looking, I mean like a ball of light.
But you also look so healthy.
So healthy. Quite fit. And so what you see behind you would take that outline, except instead of being one energy, it's flickering almost on a frequency and dancing between every single element. So it's like bloom, 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 void, 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 fire, fire, fire. And it's like just kind of flickering. The body stays the same, but like as that frequency pulses through, the flames like ripple these different colors.
I hit my tooth communicator. Tag!
Yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing it too.
This is like a super hybrid. I
don't know if this is something that is born or created, but I've never seen anything like it.
Definitely created.
What are you doing? I imagined you're just kind of over your shoulder looking at her head.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what.
And then the summoner to be of the fire planet. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I am so looking forward to the possibility of working hand in hand with your mother.
Oh, I bet she's real excited about this.
Excellent.
And the rest of our team, Tag, Sam.
To have a parallel of my own.
Yeah, well,
he's taken, FYI.
Oh, yes, of course. I mean no disrespect. Since we are going to Silver Celeste.
You don't. Yeah, I want that for you too. But you don't. It's not like a department store. You don't go window shopping for just because you're at Silver Celesto. Just want to.
I keep putting my foot in my mouth. No, of course
no.
not.
It's totally okay. I just wanted to make sure culturally, we're not puppies.
Sure, and allow me to take a step back. I am in no position to receive any of the honors of Summoner or Parallel. I recognize that. I am going to Silver Celesto to potentially earn the company a spot on the Summoner Council. And in that recognition, if I am successful, I do hope to be allowed to take some of the more familiar steps that the other summoners have taken.
Sure, because you are summoner.
I am.
Yes, you are a summoner. Well, then of course you should be afforded a parallel. Parallel would be lucky to pair with you.
Unlike every other character in this entire show, I love puns.
That's good. He's been waiting, what, 6 seasons to...
Is there anything else that you want to ask Gilvia Corgold? Okay.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but we're a rapt audience. If you care to make a demonstration of your powers.
Oh. I hadn't considered such a thing. Of course.
I'd love to see what you can do.
She goes and gives herself some room. And then she doesn't close her eyes. She says no incantation, anything. She simply places her hands out, palms up, almost in supplication to your group. And you see what looks like cracks form in the floor of the hangar bay. And from these, vines start growing straight up to form a kind of pedestal with a cupped top. That fills up with water. Gilvia then reaches in and pulls out this water, which she forms into a rose, the petals of which are on fire. And then she sticks it into the pedestal, and lightning explodes out of it and kind of curls into this big void burn, and then disappears.
Watching
so a single flower is there.
Watching Bryn's
picks up the flower.
Best.
Yeah, Bryn was just like,
hands it to Bryn.
She hands me the flower.
She hands you the flower, which is now just a regular flower, and she says, it's difficult, I find, to create new life. But combining all the elements as I just have, this is power. And she hands it to you.
I eat it.
You eat it?
Yeah.
How?
Oh, Bryn's
Tell me,
weird.
please. Bryn's real weird. How do you do it?
I just pop the butt off.
All right. What do you... Are you hoping to accomplish anything in particular, or is that just the offer and we're bouncing ping pong
No, I'm
style
just
now?
making eye contact the whole time, and I'm like...
I mean, it honestly, it makes sense, you know, the irony of you spending all that magical energy to create life that is inevitably going to die because it's a severed rose as opposed to growing from a bush or something like that. I've got to admire Bryn's quick thinking of, you know, honoring your creation. It's smooth of her.
Gilvia turns to you, Sam, as you say this and says, surely you don't think energy dies, do you?
The fuck does that mean?
Are you? I feel like you're trying to suggest something.
I only mean to say that pure elemental magic can never truly be extinguished. Wouldn't you agree?
Hey, Bryn, you got any petals left from that rose?
But isn't too taken back by it. You can see that she's trying her best to fit in. She ushers you on and says, I prepared a little snack for us for the trip, and holds up little bags of trail mix, which has everybody's names written on them in Sharpie, and she passes them out to everyone.
Thank you, Gilbert.
Grudgingly take mine.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I eat it immediately.
Yeah, me too, I think.
Okay. Everybody buckles in. There's a robot guiding this shuttle as normal. And you're told that it will take you to Haven and then return back to Void Planet. As the shuttle pulls away from the hangar and the infinite city skyline that is the Void Planet falls further away, each of you takes a moment as you stare out the window to reflect on your time here on the Void Planet. And we're going to start with Bryn.
Okay. And I'm sitting at it. Can I be wherever I want?
Yeah, I'd say in your
quarters.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, you're just like on a shuttle going somewhere, but you don't need to be necessarily.
Okay.
You're wherever you want to be, Bryn, is what I meant to say. Full fucking voiced.
Okay.
Face forward.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm sitting down at a table and I'm writing a letter. Okay. Dear Mother, I'd like to say I'm writing with good news. And I suppose some things have been all right on Void. The city is corrupt as it is. I'll start with the good. I met an interesting rascal named Ira Dietrich. I believe you know their father, Summoner Dietrich. I was instantly taken with them. Ira's life is so different from my own, so much drama and freedom and flair. We had an epic duel and completely demolished their home. Don't worry, it'll be rebuilt in no time. Even though they say they don't like me, I know deep down that they do. I think they'll be an invaluable friend down the road. We lost Puck. He sacrificed his life for Sam. Teg and I did the transfer, and at first I thought I was just sending Puck to the face state. But when I tapped into his essence and his memories and his life, I knew what he was sacrificing, and I could have stopped it. Maybe I should have stopped it. He was made of pure joy. The kind I've only glimpsed at staring at the sky from our tallest tower. I feel conflicted, Mother, off balance, like I lost something I didn't know I had. The continuum is so much more complicated than I ever thought. I hope to see you soon. I miss the fire and the sand and the river. I miss moonberry pies and fire whiskey. I miss you. All my love, Bryn.
Next, we're going to go to Sam.
The city isn't big on forgiveness, but hopefully you all will be. The best analogy that comes to mind is baseball. When you think about Puck, you think of him as like Ted Williams, one of the greatest ball players, gets up to the plate and smash the biggest home run of all time, 502 yards. So everybody's like, Puck the legend, Puck the great. Nobody will ever be as good as Puck. It's the best there you could ever be. It's the best it could ever be done. And I end up being the guy who goes up to bat after Ted Williams, or in this case Puck, hits that home run, 502 yards for the... Oh, and by the way, for those of you who don't know, this particular pitch that was hit out of the ballpark, farthest of all time, by Ted Williams, was hit in Fenway over that big green wall that nothing goes over. So the highest wall in Major League history, the most. So that's Puck. And then Sam, reborn into this world, stepping up to the plate after, fouling off 12 pitches, and then eking out a little dribbler, and beating out a throw from third, scraping out a single at first, sliding in, dirty and tired and exhausted, fighting for every on base. Nobody remembers that player. Not really. But Sam Hagan's going to get on base over and over and over. And that's really what this whole city was about. You never make it into the big jazz club. You never get the record contract. You just get on stage and you play. And I can't fault him. Buck was the greatest. But you need more than one person to play.
Rex?
I think this is gazing out the ship window, just looking as the planet falls away below. It's a goddamn dirty planet. Goddamn dirty continuum. I'm just as dirty as any of it. You know, there was a time where it was simple. It was just fighting the monsters. Now there's monsters everywhere. Sometimes when I look in the mirror, they've got my face. It was easier when I didn't trust anybody. Now I trust these idiots. Puck, man, he was never worried about him, you know? The rest of them, they're also fragile and vulnerable and weak. Puck is the dependable one. And now he's gone, and there's... I mean, that's the kind of hurt you look for the solution at the bottom of a bottle. I've been playing both sides so long, I don't know where I am on the dice anymore.
And Tag.
I think Tag's. There are seats in front of the shuttle, and there's just sort of it's a very small vessel, but there's a little bit of open space in the back, and it's got some small windows around the side, and I think he's like got an arm up on one. He's still wearing his Void Planet ensemble, so he's got the suspenders. He's got one of those like short, fat ties. It's a little bit loose. Despite the meteorological impossibility, it's like somehow raining. It's like it's definitely in black and white, and you can like the camera's in from the outside, and you can like see the rain, black and white, like very high contrast black and white on his face. He's got an empty glass held by his side. He says, "Yeah, Void Planet ain't free. Yeah, they never tell you what it'll cost, but ain't nobody leaves the atmosphere with what they had coming in. Wasn't just Sam that lost a part of himself on this planet. Now, they tell you you can be anything. Well, that's just good marketing, baby, and I bought it. Truth is, you got some people who are good and some people who ain't. And the bad ones, well, they can't just up and decide they want to be good. And the good ones, they don't come around every day, but when they do, nobody can touch them. God damn it, Puck. Spent a lot of time trying to figure out what kind of person I was. For some reason, I thought there was more than just what was on the outside. Or in my case, what was hiding inside. But hell, at a certain point, you just gotta put your chips on the table and play your hand. In my hand, it's got crimson fur, obsidian claws. And a hat materializes out of nowhere and he just pulls it down over his eyes.
Okay. Your shuttle makes it into high orbit and docks with Haven. And the lot of you pile out, followed by Gold. Captain Matt Vansel is there in the docking bay waiting for you. And he does a quick head count, satisfied for a moment, then takes a longer look at Sam. And he says, I suppose one of you wasn't going to make it home eventually. Blackout.
Thanks.
You're on mute, Trin, you fuck. What'd you say?
Wait, you put yourself
Trin,
back on.
Wait, I desperately have to hear what you're saying.
It's not that important. Never mind.
Oh.
Man.
I still miss Puck.
Yep.
Yeah. He was the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
That is the end of the Void arc, my friends.
Ooh.
Our arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We weren't quite as pointedly in that as we, went to the board and we're doing other like meta narrative stuff. But when we were really doing the Void specific narrative and it was all noir, that was fun. I think that was a cool idea, Jesse.
Yeah, thanks. I thought it was great. I know that not the entire arc fed into it, but the beginning sessions especially were really great. You guys were all nice little scenes. As of right now, but don't hold us to it, chat, we are planning to have a Haven interlude in between seasons next Wednesday. We will figure that out as quickly as possible and update you via Twitter and Discord as soon as we know. I do have a question here from Merc. The monologues at the end was story time from Merc. Sue.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks for playing along, Connor, even though you didn't know for sure what was going on. It was perfect.
It's great.
And it was requested to be noir-styled story time, so great work with your materialization of Fedora, Rain, etc. Also, Bryn's coronation, we will fit that into the correct moment, either next week or the week after, for Sue, story time. Thanks for giving us a little leeway there to end our season. But I do have a question from Merc. I'm going to change the number of things. Name 3 things someone would put into a pentagram to summon you.
That's an outstanding question.
Pasta, curry, Ice cream. Dumplings. Oh, what
I'll give it to you. Initially, she said 5. I didn't want the
curry, milkshakes, dumplings. Poppies.
What is this channel rated currently?
Go for it, right?
Yeah.
Unless that was in reference to my answer, in which case I don't
Nope.
understand.
No.
I think as long as you're respectful, you can get as raunchy as you want.
It's not that it's raunchy. I'm just curious I'm trying to see if there's any boundaries on this.
You're gonna say the opportunity to kill a man, no consequence.
Mm-hmm. Yum sauce. Cats. China Mayaville literature. Cigars. Beanies. Lisa?
So fine. Tacos, duh.
You all start with food.
Well, tacos are so it. Tacos, dad jokes, historical fiction, Red Dwarf and Anna Green Gables. There we go.
All right. Casey?
Oh, geez. Okay.
Go for it, man.
A well-used Burning Man ticket. Molly. Nunchucks. A rubber chicken and glasses that let you see into the future.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna go clearance section at Elliott Bay Books. Brightly colored shoes.
Ooh.
I just had my other things. What were they? The elote chips from Trader Joe's. And the pretzel bagels from Trader Joe's. So probably most of any snacks from Trader Joe's would also summon me. Yeah.
So make the program at Trader Joe's is just
And add a book section. And yes.
Oh wait, I forgot dresses with pockets. Shit.
Dresses with pockets.
Dresses with pockets.
So what would happen is we would have gathered the first 5 items that you guys said to summon you, except the bizarro versions of you would have the final good ingredient.
Yes.
And then we would have been killed.
Probably.
That's it for my question. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thanks, y'all. Well, hey, 3 cheers for season of Void. We've had, I'm gonna get not too sappy, but we've had a crew that's been with us for a long time, following the show, and it's been, I think we say this a bunch, but it's been long enough that I want to take this opportunity to get sappy again and say, fuck, thank you for watching the show. It's so cool, and jumping in the chat and like these story times and throwing stuff up on our Discord, and there are people who can't watch it live who watch it later on, and you're 100% part of that same family. And when I think about it, when I really think about that, the duration of that community, I just think it's the coolest thing in the world. So really, I'm indebted to everybody watching the show and talking to their friends about the show and thinking about the show, and it's cool as hell. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much. And very, very, very large thank you to Mark Thomason for doing all of the tech stuff, the camera work, all that stuff. So much work with us every episode,
Mark.
right there. Yep. Thank you so much, Mark. We appreciate you. Couldn't do it without you.
Mark was on the fly with that board meeting quick swap. He was on it. We were working him. We were running him ragged on that.
No advance warning from Mark either. I think that we're just taking for granted how quick he can be. So we're just like, we'll just like through a bunch of weird shit. I'm sure Mark will be able.
Yep, that was so cool.
That was a cool way to set that up. I did enjoy that.
I enjoyed that. That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Thank you to Aaron Buman for creating our intro, our graphics, the music that you hear in the background. I'm sure something very exciting maybe will.
The only thing he's told me so far is Gregorian chants are gonna
Yes!
like
We get Enigma. He's got in the Discord. He's got a. It's not a SoundCloud. What is it called?
I think that's what it's called.
So you can check out a bunch of his work in the Discord.
I think all of the Void Jumpers music is up there too.
Yeah, I think he pinned it. Yeah, it should be a pinned message. Thank you to Merc Worky, our incredible mod for 5 seasons.
Merc!
We're nothing without you.
Hand. I can't snap with this hand.
Really?
Bizarro Trin.
Kill her before she kills us.
Oh, thank you so much, Mark, for everything, for hanging with us, for the fan fiction that you write, the just all the engagement. You are part of this team 100%, and we appreciate you so very much.
Merc wrote one a week or two ago that was just one of my all-time favorite Merc fanfics.
Oh yeah, that's also in the Discord.
Yeah.
The fanfiction's delicious, and I cannot recommend it enough. But it should be stated that a bunch of the administrative shit for this show gets done because Merc does it. Yep. None of us know how to do most of the stuff that she does, nor have we taken it upon ourselves to fill in the gaps that are there.
And
so thank you, Merc, for being the glue of this show.
Yep, 100%. Thank you, Zombie Orpheus, for hosting us on your channel. And they've got Zoe Game Night, I think tomorrow night in the Discord. Jackbox Games. If you haven't played it, it's super fun. You just need some kind of tablet or a phone that you can write on. It's very, very fun. That'll be tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then they have the Reliables on Monday at 6 p.m. Zany fun goodness new show, Zoe new show, and then we will likely be back next Wednesday. If something changes, we will let you guys know in the Discord. But other than that, we'll see you next week.
Mwah, 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 mwah.